Glory to Jesus Christ. So I've done a few videos recently on sacred silence. One of them talked about sacred silence before, during, and after the liturgy. And someone asked me, what do I mean by sacred silence during the liturgy? Because a lot of times when you think of sacred silence, you're more thinking about before or after or during an adoration or something like that. But sacred silence is actually a very important part of the liturgy. There are specific parts of the liturgy that are devoted to reflection and prayer. One of the most recognizable ones out of this could be the brief period of silence right after a homily, where you're reflecting on what the homily talked about. Another one could be silently reflecting and praying after receiving the Eucharist. Now, there may be chant going on. If we're talking about the TLM, there may be chant going on. In the Novus Ordo, it's not always a chant. It's a more modern hymn a lot of times. But sacred silence doesn't have to be deathly quiet. Chant or a hymn can accompany that, but it is a time of silent reflection for you to pray and focus on what the liturgy is communicating to you at that moment. And for the Novus Ordo in the GIRM, it specifically lays out times for the sacred silence. And the traditional Latin Mass also has times set aside for reflective silence. That's what I mean by sacred silence during the liturgy.